5 things to do before you get meat chickens this year. This week, we ordered our first batch of meat chickens. Actually, we ordered all of our meat chickens for this year, ready to go, and we're supposed to get our first batch in March. And if you have not ordered your meat chickens yet, you better get on it, because if it's anything like last year, it's gonna sell out and there won't be any meat chickens to buy. Whew, all right, it's a lot warmer in here in the greenhouse, but it's winter time right now, and believe it or not, our meat chickens, they're arriving in about 2 months. So it's hard to think about when we're in the winter and when it's 20 degrees right now, but it's also the time to think about your meat chickens and starting to plan that right now. All right, here you go. Number 1, chicken tractor. Now is the time to build your chicken tractor or a portable chicken coop to raise these meat chickens. The best way I feel to raise meat chickens is to move them every single day in a chicken tractor. Day 3 on this chicken build, and it's day 7 since last time I washed these pants. Now, this is not the only way to raise them. You could leave them in one spot and just put a fence around them and let them be and raise them that way. But if you can, a chicken tractor is a must. Like these 2 Siskovich chicken tractors that I use. Here's another little one that I use for our egg layers. I built a chicken tractor for every single year that we've been here. The first chicken tractor I built was one of those tractors, and I thought, I'm not gonna need any more than that. But here's 2 more. I have the plans of these available, free plans, guys. I'll leave that link down below. They don't have to be super fancy chicken tractors. They can be really basic like this. Holds about 15 chickens. The winter time is for planning and building, and then spring and summer is for actually doing those things that you planned and that you build, using those things and actually doing the work. The reason why we went with those bigger style chicken tractors at first was because I did not have a portable fencing, and that is my number 2 of the top 5 is portable electric fencing. Now, this is not an absolute must. I've gone a few years without having it, and that's why I built the bigger chicken tractors, is so that way I won't have to take my chickens out, because there's going to be 30 chickens in there. You don't want a bunch of 30 chickens roaming around freely in your yard. But if you don't have the luxury of moving them every day in a chicken tractor, a portable fence is important, because you want them free ranging at least, or you could just put a fence around them and then let them go to town on the grass. Now, to electrify this fence, you need a charger for it, and I know these things can be expensive. I would suggest just getting the fence first and then going from there, and take baby steps. You know, maybe the following year, then you get the charger. But make sure you have protection for the chickens. You know, make sure they have somewhere to go to at night, and you lock them up at night, and maybe during the day you open them up for them and try it that way. All right, let's talk about the feed. Number 3, and this is the make or break of raising meat chickens, and that is feed. The feed is costly, to be honest, and I believe that is probably one of the ones that deters people from raising their own meat chickens, because they say, I could buy chicken for super cheap at the store. Hey Jason, why raise our own when I could buy chicken for 99 cents at the store? Hey, that's because chickens at the store were raised in a factory farm. You're raising the best chicken you could possibly raise by moving them on grass in a chicken tractor. You know what exactly that chicken ate, you know how it was processed, and you know how it was put in your freezer. We buy our feed in bulk, and that is one of the best ways to drive that cost down. And we belong to a feed co-op, a local here. Now, I don't know how you find co-ops in your own area. I found ours just by word of mouth, talking to neighbors, meeting people in town, and asking. If you don't have one in your own town, maybe you're the one that should be starting it. Gather your neighbors, gather your friends around you, and start this co-op. Call up a local feed company and say, hey, I want a bunch of feed delivered, pallet worth, a bunch of pallets maybe, and that would drive the cost down. We save on average about $12 per bag when we buy in bulk. And then what you have to think about is, where are you going to store all this feed? We have no storage for anything around here. And that's why I use these feed barrels. These feed barrels are super important here. 55-gallon barrels, they fit about 6 50-pound bags per barrel. These barrels were used for apple juice. Keeps them very dry. And we just fill up these barrels with a bunch of feed. I would call your local ag center and see if they have any of these barrels. I would not suggest leaving the barrels outside in the elements. I would still keep them in a kind of a shed area, at least to keep them a little bit more drier and out of the sun. All right, after you got your chicken tractor ready, you got your portable fence ready, you got your feed, you know where you're buying it from, you know how you're going to store it. Probably the most expensive thing that you're going to buy when you're raising, I would say if you're raising at least 30 chickens, and I do recommend your first time you get 30 chickens and you do it. If you're going to do that much, you need a chicken plucker. Maybe you go in with some friends. Maybe you have another family that's raising meat chickens and you share. You could also rent it out to people in the local area. Maybe you put a little flyer at the local hardware store or the local agricultural store and you say, hey, I rent this chicken plucker. Oh my gosh. If you're gonna be butchering more than, I would say, 2 chickens, I'm gonna say 2 chickens, you need a plucker. Again, if it's anything like last year, people were having a hard time finding chicken pluckers. I think it's a little bit easier now. I think I'm starting to see some out there, but you wanna get in on that and get that chicken plucker early. And the rest of the equipment to butcher your own chickens, I bet most of you probably have all that on hand already in your kitchen or in your garage. And if it's your first time raising meat chickens, getting that chicken plucker is so important because it will make your first experience that much more special and that much more easier, and you'll have a better time at it, because when it's your first time, you want it to be happy, you want it to be successful, because it will just motivate you to want to do it again. Keep in mind, you don't need to overthink it here when you're raising chickens, but when you know they're coming in the next 2 months, you got to be prepared still. And as long as they have protection, they have food, they have grass, they have sunshine, they have water, everything is going to be okay. And the final most important thing to get or to do before you get meat chickens is sign up for our online chicken butchering class. Registration is open this week, ends this Friday at midnight. Guys, you have so much information in there. We have over 12 new original content videos, step-by-step guide, a full color step-by-step guide. Lorraine put her recipes in there. I mean, we're already having people coming in there, and you'll have access to a private community, and so you can connect with other like-minded folks. Discounts for McMurray Hatchery. I've been working on this course for 4 months, and just wanting to help you guys out on this. So check the link out down in the show notes, and we'll see you guys on the next one.